So now we're gonna do like monk chants or something? What the heck, man? Start the timer over. I'm still trying to get my camera angle right. I'm adding more crap to my background. And there's very little room back here. So I'm literally like, my belly is literally up against the table because I got no room to roll back. Keeps my chair from sliding back. What? I'm trying to... Yeah.
Please tell me that got caught. Please don't tell me my massive belt just got caught.
Anyway, hey everybody, welcome to Gene Pool Variety Hour. This is episode 51. I am one of your co-hosts. I'm the old guy. I'm the dad of the group. I'm Sean, and the guy on the other screen is the young guy, and he is...
QuillMiester Connor at your service.
Belchmaster Connor, also my son. Okay, hey, so what's up, Mitch? So anyway, this is our Friday night hangout. This is our Friday night hangout. Connor lives in Ohio now, and we used to be the only ones that would hang out and talk nerdy stuff in my house. And so we took our podcast to Twitch so that we can actually see each other when we talk about this stuff. So we hang out. We talk about movies. We do geek questions. Chase a lot of chickens.
Basically, just do a little bit of everything. Don't we?
Yeah. So anyway, I got nothing really going on. I've been doing. Although I did go. Well, you go ahead. You always start first with what's been going on with you. So I'll let you start.
Oh, I've been doing nothing. Then I've just been doing some Molson and Tim Zorson playing some shimmy with Canucks and everything.
Okay, so. Didn't understand a word of any of that.
I was trying to be Canadian. Anyway.
No, I got that. And you didn't sound Canadian at all. And because
he's Canadian.
No, that sounds more like Irish Canadian. That didn't sound Canadian at all.
But we're about to play shitting with the Canucks. It did sound Canadian.
No, it doesn't sound Canadian at all. It doesn't. Anyway, the point is...
This is Irish. This is Canadian.
Yeah, see? You got to watch more hockey. Absolutely.
You got to watch more hockey. Fine. So, okay, I'll try that.
Trust me.
Hockey is one of the sports I want to get into while I'm up here.
Well, you got a home team. You got the Blue Jackets like right down the road from you, man.
When's hockey season?
Now.
Wait, now?
Now. Yes. Now.
Well, sadly, I don't have ESPN.
They're on NBC Sports. And because Columbus Blue Jackets are your home team, you probably get them on your local channels. You should check.
If I had a cable box.
Oh yeah, you guys don't have cable. That's right. Anyway, forgot about that.
Nobody has cable anymore, Dad. Everyone streams everything now.
Yeah, see? So the second season is about to start because the NHL playoffs are almost as long as the regular season. So anyway,
back to what I've been doing lately.
Yeah, you need to watch more. Well, hold on. That deserved a chicken because we ended up talking about a sport that you don't know anything about. I don't know a lot about, and you don't know anything about, and don't even like sports. So that definitely deserved a chicken. So all right. So what's been going on with you?
I recently got 2 new games for my Nintendo Switch.
Oh, cool.
One was Monster Hunter Rise, which is basically what?
You should talk to Mitch and Brandon. They've been talking about it on Divide by Whirlwolds for like the last 2 or 3 episodes.
Dude, I am loving it. I am loving Monster Hunter Rise. It is. I mean, Dad.
Yes.
You. Okay, first off, you have a pet dog you can ride.
Yeah, I heard about that.
That's the dream right there.
I heard about that. So.
And guess what it's called?
Coco. I don't know what.
No. The species is called a palamute.
Oh, okay. So yeah, I've heard
species Malamute.
Yeah, I've heard Mitch and Brandon talk about palamutes. Yeah, I've heard it.
Oh yeah.
I just forgot about it.
Yeah. I've honestly just been loving playing that, and just all the unique monsters I've been fighting. So far, the most unique that I've found, it's okay. Picture a baboon with parrot wings and a tail and a long tail that has a hand at the end.
Interesting.
Yes.
That sounds like that sounds like
It sounds like a fever dream.
No, it sounds like Phil's character over on Botched. He's been playing like an Octopolian character. They're in space this season, and he's been playing an Octopolian character, which is like an octopus type of race. And he's pretty much lost all of his limbs, so they've made him a complete cyborg Octopolian now. And they decided to give him real human hands at the end of each tentacle. So now he's got like 8 hands. Kind of.
So basically, a more Doc Ockish.
Yeah,
Doc
but they also gave him cybernetic
Wings?
breasts as well. So, what? Just because they could? I don't understand, dude. Botched. Botched.
Wait! I've got one question.
Mm-hmm.
Do they have nipple guns like the fembots in Austin Powers?
I think they talked about it, but I don't know if they actually gave them to him or not.
I really hope they do. Because if so, that one, it'd be funny, and two, it'd be an awesome callback to an awesome movie series.
Anyway. So go ahead. I was going to make a comment about the game, but for Mitch and Brandon.
Oh no, go ahead.
Brandon was talking about. I was on one of the episodes of Divided by Worlds recently. Brandon was talking about some weapon that he uses that is made of bugs or something.
Oh yeah. That's that's called the insect glaive.
Yeah.
And basically it's it's a double-bladed staff that's partnered with something called a kinsect.
Gotcha. Yeah.
And basically you use this glaive to not only attack physically at the monster, you can then also use it to command the kinsect to do all kinds of buffs to you and your team, debuffs
right.
to the monster, or to do actual damage to the monster.
Right. And that's what he said. I'm just in here going, I've never heard of a weapon made of bugs. Basically,
it's not made of bugs. It's just partnered with a specific kinsect.
Yeah, I know. So anyway,
personally, I prefer this. I prefer the sword and shield, double sword, and bow. All the other weapons get way too complicated.
Yeah. Okay.
There's one called a gun lance. It's literally basically a cannon that can turn into a lance, like what knights use when they joust.
And it kind of like Cloud's like sword gun
now,
thing
the
that
switch
he does.
axe, Mitch, the switch axe, I've heard a lot of good things about.
That's what Mitch. That's what Mitch uses. So I hear him talk about his switch axes all the time.
But he wouldn't be as lost if you play Monster Hunter World, which is free on Game Pass.
Yes, and I have it on there, and I guess I got overwhelmed at the beginning with all. Like I said, I got overwhelmed with the inventory management at the beginning, and so I didn't get into the game enough to. And it would have been a whole lot easier if I'd been playing the game with you or with Mitch and Brandon that could kind of show me the ropes.
Well then,
I know.
Well then, play with us. Okay. I can play with you anytime.
Right, I know. So
yeah,
all right,
see? Mitch will play with you.
So what else? So what else has been going on with you?
The second game I got is the new Pokemon Snap. And basically it's the revamped updated version of a classic Nintendo game that was on I think the Nintendo 64, something like that. And basically, you play this avatar who works with this researcher and you ride around in this cool vehicle and just take pictures of Pokemon. It's just a really cool little sit and chill and vibe type game. It's to me what Eastshade is to you. It's
right.
Good, relaxing kind of game.
I need to get back into Eastshade. I've kind of gotten sidetracked from it.
It's basically like if you go on one of those indoors or indoors safari park type things like what's in Georgia, remember?
Mm-hmm. I
When you
just
go
drove past it
on that
today,
path
actually.
and yeah, it's basically like that.
Yeah.
Except it's more interactive.
Right. Right.
And take pictures of Pokemon in their natural habitat, of them doing all different kinds of things. It's I just like it. It's a really good,
Yeah.
relaxing game.
No, I mean, I think you need those kind of games, and like I said, I love Eastshade. It's a great. I mean, it's basically a mindfulness exercise in a video game form. I didn't like the fact
But
once. What? Finish your
guess what
statement.
comes out next week? Guess what comes out in exactly 7 days?
I'm guessing. I'm gonna say Mass Effect.
Yes.
Yeah.
It comes out in exactly 7 days on the 14th. I've already pre-ordered it on Amazon. I'm going to get it as soon as I can, and then that's literally all I'm going to play for the next 6 months.
I'm super looking forward to playing it as well, but I might wait until it's on Game Pass through the EA stuff.
You do realize that's going to take a while.
It may. Because I got plenty of other stuff, dude.
Because the original games are already on EA.
I know. So I got that, but if I play the new ones, they look better, and I get the achievements all over again. Because you know me, I'm all about the achievements.
Yeah, so why don't you have the money now? Dad. Now that I'm not living there, you have all this money saved from the food I ate.
Oh, really? Yeah, all that landscaping and house repair and stuff. Oh, yeah, I got plenty. And if I want to spend money on something anytime soon, it's going to be an Xbox Series X. That's what it's going to be. On.
There's okay. I actually have a question about that.
Okay.
If I got the Xbox Series X, would I be able to are my current games that I have still in disc form backwards compatible?
I think so. Yeah, should
be. And then also, how would I access the games I have digitally downloaded? Because I got a lot of games that are digitally downloaded.
Yeah, but because they're linked to your gamer tag, they're linked to your account, so you'll just log into your Xbox Live account on the new Xbox, and you'll just re-download them. They're attached. They're not attached to your Xbox. How it works? Yeah, they're not attached to the console. They're attached to your account.
Then what's the external hard drive for?
Because when you download a bunch of games, you're going to need more space. That's all.
So then aren't they tied to the Xbox because it needs the hard drive to hold them?
Well, they're just
that's where I get confused at.
They're just saved there, but your game saves and all that kind of stuff are kind of saved in the cloud. Yeah. See, Mitch is talking about it, how easy it is to set up, and so if
but
nothing,
sadly, but sadly, they're not going to make. They're not going to be able to make any new ones because of this computer chip thing in Japan.
No, they'll make more. It may be
It'll take a while. That's
maybe.
What I mean. It'll take because even in my line of work at the factory, our production is getting diminished because we need computer chips for the newer cars.
No, I know. I get that. But they'll still be making it. It's not that they go, oh my gosh, we can't make any more ever again. It'll just be delayed.
That's not what I said.
I know. So I'm just waiting. Sometime this summer, that'll probably be in stores finally, and I'll pick one up when they're in the store. I'm not gonna sit there and try to hunt them down online. Everybody, all my buddies did, and they went through all that stress, and they all got them. But I'm just gonna wait. So I'm not because
I mean, if I'm being honest, I'm probably gonna wait for a while until they say we're no longer making any sort of games or anything for the Xbox One. It'll all be for the Xbox Series X.
Well,
then I'll start looking for an Xbox Series X. Because by then there'll most likely be some used ones in stock.
Yeah, I want one if for no other reason than the load times. I've heard that it's like there's no load times compared to the Xbox One. So I want that, and
Who
then
cares about load times?
when you're playing Outriders, and every time you load a screen, you might as well go make a pizza while it loads on the Xbox One. Yet when Mitch and Brandon are playing on their Xbox Series X, they're like, they're done and they're ready to go. So, right. I mean, I get that there's no
reason to except for basically the faster speed.
Right. Except for the fact that I want to take my other Xbox One that I have now and put it out here in this setup so I can do game streams out here with the whole overlay stuff. I want to do that out here. And so if I need a second Xbox anyway, yeah, I'm going to have the one I have now and bring it out here to the podcast room, and then I'm going to put the Series X on the big TV. So anyway,
that doesn't make a lot of sense. It's me, but you do you.
I will do me.
Excuse me,
dude. This isn't like Animal House or Porky's or whatever. You're not Booger, all right? Revenge of the Nerds, right?
I am Booger.
You are not Booger.
I am.
So anyway, all right. All right. So things that I've been doing. I mean, yes, I've been playing Destiny. I get that.
No one cares about you.
The news. Well, that's true. I get that. Everybody comes in this room is Team Connor anyway. I get that. I'm fully on board with that. I know. But the thing that I'm excited about is the new season of the Splicer starts next Tuesday. With new weapons are coming in. They're bringing back a couple of old weapons that everybody likes. The
Gallahorn?
No. A hung jury is the one that everybody's freaking out about. And it's from Destiny 1, and I don't remember it because I played Destiny 1 so long ago. So, but I'm looking forward to it.
The Gallahorn was the very first
exotic that you got.
Exotic I got, and I got it from a legendary engram.
Wow, that's nice. So,
when I told you about it, and told your friends about it, you guys were all so jealous. I remember that.
Yeah, because everybody's had to work for it. But so there's also going to be there's a new seasonal activity that's 6 players, so matchmaking. So we don't have to have just a fire team of 3. That if we have a group of 4 or 5 of us, we can play together. So that's cool. I'm looking forward to that. Been working on
Tyson Rage. Mitch, I can't help that I have the luck equivalent of an Irish leprechaun horse with golden horseshoes.
I didn't know where you were going with that when I heard those first 3 letters of the word horse. I'm like, where's he going with this? And then you threw the S in there. I'm like, okay, got it. I didn't know where you were going with horse.
I am a clean boy.
Irish leprechaun. What does the horse have to do with luck? I guess the horseshoe.
Horseshoes.
Okay.
Yeah,
whatever.
Horseshoes.
So,
done some of 4-leaf clovers.
I've been playing Outriders a little bit with it. I'm trying to catch up with Mitch and Brandon, but it's kind of a slog, man. It's not. I'm trying to make myself like the game, and it's okay. There's another one that they just came out with. It's on Game Pass. And it's infuriating trying to play by yourself, but I really enjoy playing it with the guys we played the other night for a little bit. Second Extinction. You should try it out. You basically dropped onto a planet and you're fighting off dinosaurs. And it's intense because once one dinosaur shows up, there's like 50 and they're just relentless. So it's impossible to solo it. Absolutely impossible. And one of the guys on there, you should have checked on my Instagram. One of the characters that you can play on there, Jurgen, straight up ripoff of Hammerlock. Straight up ripoff. He's an old
Borderlands Hammerlock?
Yeah, he's an old English dude that wears a hat, has sunglasses, has facial hair, has a prosthetic cybernetic leg, and shoots a rifle. I'm not kidding.
That is freaking Hammerlock.
Straight up rip off of Hammerlock.
Does he have a prosthetic eye and arm?
No. So when they go to court,
then that's how they do it.
Yeah, when they go to court, they're going to say, "Well, Jurgen clearly has both his arms, so clearly it's not a ripoff."
And both his eyes.
Whatever. So, but it's
and the animation style is completely different.
But it's fun. I mean, he's basically almost wearing the same clothes. So anyway, so I've been doing those kind of things. I started playing Destroy All Humans just to have fun with it the other day. But that's pretty much it. I went to the firing range today. The guys were out at the firing range doing some shooting training today, so I went out there. Well, I took my Glock that I got a couple months ago and just went out there and
this is new to me. You now own a gun?
Mm-hmm. I have a Glock.
I did not know that.
I have a Glock 43X. Yes.
Huh.
So I went out and shot very poorly. But still, to have a job
43X? 43X? That's what you said?
Yes. It's a 40 it's a
No, Dad, you don't understand.
Obviously I don't.
Do you remember the gun story I told you when I visited the Sextons for Christmas? Remember?
No.
Okay. So Christmas 2019, and I just proposed to Nikki, and we were really happy. Her dad wants to get to know him better, and it takes me to local shooting range. Rents a couple guns.
Yeah, where you shot another gun.
Now, see, you
that
do
part,
remember it.
Yeah, where you put your finger on the trigger when you weren't supposed to, and pulled the trigger and shot another gun. Yeah, I know.
I shot and broke another gun's handle.
Mm-hmm.
Just the handle part,
mm-hmm.
But I still freaking busted it, and it was a Glock 43X.
You sure? Because I don't know that the 43. It may have been a Glock 43, but a Glock 43X has. I don't think it was out in 2019. I don't know. Anyway,
then I just remember 43.
Okay. So anyway, I went out and shot it.
Yeah.
I went out and shot.
That's some marksmanship right there.
I think I just shot it.
That's some Western shit right there.
I think I shot it just about 100 rounds. I just had the rest of my bullets and then was done. But anyway, it's kind of a cool job when part of your job is you get to go hang out with the guys and shoot guns. Yeah. So. Yeah. But anyway, nothing else going. I got to go to Tybee Island this next weekend for work. Man, that's such a bad deal to have to go to Tybee Island for the weekend for work. But anyway, so
Tybee Island. Well, why does it sound so familiar?
Your mom and I went there one weekend. It's down near Savannah. You never been? No, we went to Jekyll Island.
Jekyll Island. That's it.
Yeah. But you guys haven't been
to
Tybee
Island. I
Island.
Get those confused.
But I'm gonna basically go do my stuff and then go hang out at Huckapoo's, the bar. There's a bar in there called Huckapoo's in Tybee Island, and one of my favorite podcasts around there.
That doesn't sound very sanitary.
One of
poos everywhere.
One of my favorite podcasts I listen to around the NFL. One of the four hosts, his name was Chris Wessling. He's originally from Cincinnati, but he kind of adopted Tybee Island as his home, and he became like a local celebrity down there. And Huckapoo's was his favorite place. But he got picked up by NFL and moved out to LA and was on this big podcast for the NFL. And everybody loved him. He just was a great football knowledge guy. Met his eventual wife at NFL.com. They went back to Tybee Island, got married at Tybee Island, had a baby. He just passed away Super Bowl weekend of cancer. And it was his second bout of cancer. So and all the fans followed him through his first battle with cancer and into the second battle with cancer. So we were kind of following along with him, and so it was a tough loss for folks with it that liked him. And so I wanted to go and have a few drinks in Chris's honor at Huckapoo's while I'm down there. So because that was his favorite bar down there. But anyway, so that's all I got kind of going on. We've spent 25 minutes of our 60-minute time limit, and we haven't done anything yet. So we still have a geek question, and we still have a movie to talk about. So,
well, to be fair, Dad, this is going to be our last podcast for like 2 weeks after this. So I think we can manage to go over 10, 20, an hour.
So yeah, we won't have a podcast next week because I'll be in Tybee Island. The following week, I've got to go down to Savannah, but I'm basically driving down to Savannah and coming back Friday. So I may be back in time to do the podcast Friday night. Probably not, but anyway, we'll see. So, anything else going on you want to talk about, or do you want to jump into the geek question?
I'm pissed off at work right now.
Why? They may be listening, so be nice.
I'm gonna be clean. So essentially, we had this new hire start Wednesday, and what?
It's empty already, and we're not even halfway through the podcast, and it's empty already. I need to put a fridge out.
How do you think I feel? I drank more than you.
Jeez, dude, that was 2. I saw you pour them. Now, granted, they're like hard lemonades, whatever, but you know,
hard sodas, but just quantity, it's more.
Anyway, moving on.
Basically, he today my main supervisor Jeff couldn't make it into work, so it was supposed to be me and this new hire Brian. We who just got this past Wednesday.
Yeah,
he didn't show up.
Okay, well,
literally, today would have been his second day, basically. Second full day. Yeah, didn't show up. He didn't call in. Didn't let anybody in the office know to let me know.
Man, listen. Is he around your age?
He's 35 with a wife and kid.
Yeah. See, I don't understand your generation.
35 isn't my generation.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought you said 25.
No, he's 35. Okay. He's closer to your age than my age.
Actually, no, he's closer to your age. He's only 10 years. He's only 10 years older than you. He's 17 years younger than me.
Anyway, you know what?
So, it seems like people just like, you know what? I'm not going to work today, and they don't go and they don't show up. I don't understand that. Mentality. And you're not like that. And I raised you differently.
Every time I've never been able to, I'm not able to go into work. I let my boss know as soon as I can, and I apologize. And the very next day, I work twice as hard.
That's kind of the whole point, man. Yeah. So anyway,
but nobody else does that.
Yeah. Well, anyway, I feel
like that's why I've lasted close to 8 months, and the 5 other guys we've had in my time have barely lasted a month.
Yeah. Well.
Collectively.
Because they clearly have not had the work ethic that you do, and that's awesome, dude. So anyway, all right.
I stuck with the freaking pizza delivery job for close to a year and a half.
Yep, I know. So, one other thing before we move on. Your brother Luke, he's been hiking the Appalachian Trail, right? So
did he finally get his orders?
Well, his disenrollment stuff with Auburn just kind of got processed this week, and so now the enlistment process starts. So he and I are he's gonna call me tomorrow, and then we're gonna talk about how he gets back home, so we can start the enlistment process. So I don't know what that's gonna look like yet, but as far as his time on the trail, he just passed 600 miles the other day.
Have you seen that killer beard he's been growing?
Oh, I know, man. He rocks.
Oh my gosh.
He rocks the best beard in the family, but he's gonna be bald just like you. Me, on the other hand, I'm gonna die at 85 years old with a full head of hair, and no gray in it either. So suck it, you two. So I may not have a gray beard, but I'll still have a full head of hair when I die.
I look good bald. I don't know what you're talking about.
So
I
anyway,
do look good bald.
So that's cool. That was cool. I mean, he's gone 600 miles, man. And he put up a picture last week when he crossed 500 miles, the 500-mile marker, and he put a little post with it, and he said, his very first real hike that he did was with Auburn his freshman year. They went up to this section of the Appalachian Trail in Virginia and hiked it. And he crossed the 500-mile marker then, and he told himself then, how cool would it be to cross this 500-mile marker again, having done the 500 miles? And so he did, and he took a picture, and he says, and I'll be honest, it was an emotional moment. And so he took a picture of him with it, and he's got tears in his eyes because, he made this accomplishment. It was really cool.
Yeah.
So I was happy for him. So, yeah, he'll probably be coming off the trail here soon.
I'll be honest with you, Dad, that Luke and I may never have seen eye to eye, but I respect the heck out of that guy.
Apparently,
he's awesome. He's outdoorsy. He's a freaking badass.
Well, and apparently they're changing his trail name is being changed from Baby Trotter to Little Otter, or Little Otter. So because they say that if there's
Little Otter,
because if there's a body of water anywhere around, he's got to get in it. So.
That is Luke.
That's
Luke.
So, anyway, all right. So that's let's move on, dude. Let's talk about something. So, Geek Question, right?
Geek Question.
All right.
Yeah.
I want to ask you a bunch of questions, and I want to have them answered immediately.
Thank you for not interrupting that.
I'm going to ask you a bunch of questions, and I want them answered immediately.
All right. So, what's the question? I don't remember the question.
All right.
Because you threw two out, and then I don't remember which one we decided.
All right. In the event of a machine uprising apocalypse, what's your game plan? How do you survive?
Run and scream like a little girl?
So you have no plan.
Seeing as how I forgot the question that you were going to ask, I have no answer. So go first.
All right. Well, first, it would be to meet up with my father-in-law, who's basically at this point in time has put his entire home, entire home, front door, lights, freaking kitchen, everything on a private, encrypted, secure, unique server. Basically, no one else can access other stuff in his house except manually or with his go ahead putting your specific whatever IP address into his freaking system.
Yeah.
The guy is Penelope Garcia smart when it comes to computers. I swear to
God.
God.
I know that because we had conversations when we were up there and we met him for the first time. And of course, he's the kind of guy he wants to build a bunker for a house with turrets. I get it. So he would be a good person to have.
About that.
Yeah, he wants to build a bunker for a house with turrets. Okay, so I get it. He would be a safe guy to have.
And eventually, if his business takes off, he might be able to afford that.
Sure, I know. My only concern would be with that is, regardless, if you're connected, even if you're secure, encrypted, all that kind of stuff, if you're connected to the outside world at all, network-wise, it's hackable.
Who's ever connected to the outside world?
Well, I get him. I get his house being a enclosed system where it communicates with itself and it doesn't communicate to the outside, maybe. But some of it is going to be connected to the outside world because of the internet and needing to access things and this kind of stuff. Unless they're just going to have.
Well. From what I understand, he can cut off his he can cut off the internet and an outside connection like that, just with the snap of his fingers, and then basically it would just be the guy even has a portable generator or that can keep his house going for at least a week.
Yeah, a lot of people have those.
He's got a generator, a backup generator, a backup gas power generator, a backup diesel powered generator, and now he's thinking of getting solar panels to store up battery cells.
Yeah, cool.
The guy is like a doomsday prepper, and I freaking love it.
Okay, so you would hook up with Mr. Sexton. I get it, but then
I would just follow his lead. I would be the loyal number 3.
So what you're saying is what you're saying is you would be running like and screaming like a little girl too, just behind his back.
Yes.
Okay, got you. Okay, so we have the same plan. You're just going to be running behind him, right?
I'm gonna be running behind someone with a plan.
Okay.
And the people with the plan survive, and the people around the people with the plan survive as well.
Okay.
Except when it comes to the zombies.
Is that it?
With zombies, it's anybody's game.
Yeah, but I mean, what else are you going to do to survive?
Essentially, I'll tap into whatever redneck genes I have laying dormant and try and hunt, fish, and to help support.
Okay.
I mean,
is that it?
Yeah, that's it. I fumbled with this question.
Okay,
Dad, I know I did.
Hey, it's your question.
I'll admit that I did.
I forgot the question. I'll have a better answer than you. So,
shut up.
All right. So I have multi-steps here, multiple prongs to my attack here. Okay, and again, I'm not trying to overthrow the machines.
First step, run. First step, help scream like a girl. Right?
No, that's just the first 5 minutes, and then I'll start thinking. So my goal is not going to be to overthrow the machine overlords. My goal is to just survive. So one, I have
okay.
Yes, what happened?
Spider on my neck. The spider.
Well, you know what? It's okay.
I didn't want to say anything.
Look, be glad.
Yeah. Spiders.
Be glad that you're up there and it's just a little spider, and you're not down here in the next couple of weeks when all the cicadas come out by the billions after 17 years. So just be happy.
Oh my gosh! It's
that time. It's that time again.
I knew it.
Yeah, it's that time.
God is freaking dusting off a biblical plagues. First we had boils and plague. Now we have freaking cicadas instead of horn.
No. It's just every 17 years these dudes come out of the ground. So anyway, all right. First of all, I have friends in low places. I have friends that I work with.
I got friends in low
I have friends in certain places that have access to certain forms of personal protective equipment. And I will just...
So basically your friends on base.
I will procure some. And a couple of cans of ammo.
Legally?
No, of course. Sure. I'll just requisition them. I'll requisition them.
Cans or buckets?
No, like the ammo crate cans, the metal cans. Anyway, so just
rectangular ones.
So yes. So there's that. I'll start there, and then I'm going to go completely Battlestar Galactica. Okay.
I don't know what that means.
Okay. Well, if you watched Battlestar Galactica, you would know. Now, not the original one from back in the 70s, but the good one. With Edward James.
I think that's the first time I've heard you say a remake is better than the original.
Oh God, way better. So
I think that's the first time I've heard you say it.
The one with Edward James almost is the head of it, and then
who's that?
He's just an actor. Katie Sackhoff plays Starbuck. Anyway, that series.
Who's Katie Sackhoff?
The girl in the bathtub with Howard.
Who's Howard?
Oh, stop it. Anyway, Big Bang Theory, you know that. So the thing with Battlestar Galactica is the Cylons took over, and they hacked into the computer systems of all the battleships, and were able to just shut them down. And so then they just blew them up because they were completely defenseless, except for the Battlestar Galactica, because it was about to get decommissioned because it was old school analog. So it had a completely enclosed network system, so the Cylons couldn't hack into it to shut it down. So that's how they actually survived, was they went completely analog. So I'd get rid of the phone. I would, not be using Siri or any of that kind of stuff, and would get rid of that, because if it's the machines that are taking over everything, then you don't want those machines around. So stop using them. Are Really? I cannot believe that you... Man, Mitch, I'm so disappointed, man.
Oh, man.
It's like I don't even know you anymore. So, anyway...
It's freaking hilarious. Freaking Jim Parsons, he carries that show.
So, I would go. I'd get some protective equipment to start with. Then I would go analog, so that they
guns.
So they couldn't track me. All right, and then I'd head to Oklahoma
to
live
on the Bulls Ranch.
Yeah. Hunting, fishing.
There is that house that's basically abandoned on the property. If you don't mind ghosts.
Well, and your grandmother is in that big house by herself. Plenty of room. And there's plenty of room for gardening. There's plenty of hunting available. There's fishing available. We're good. And we're out in the boonies. I mean, good grief, it's a 30-minute drive on a dirt road just to get to a paved road from that place, right? So
True. We're
out in the middle of nowhere. Unless the machine overlords can take over the Kubota tractor on the farm, on the ranch, we're good. So
okay,
that's
yes. But what if what if the machines take over her take over other devices and scout out for humans to then find and subjugate? How would you defend against that?
What do you mean? What
like
do you mean?
Drones and satellites. Like some.
What?
How,
okay, they can come.
How would you defend against enemy surveillance, basically?
It's Oklahoma in the country. You don't think there's plenty of firepower out there in the country?
So someone out there has capable missiles to all the way into the mesosphere to take out a.
I'm not talking about
satellite.
I'm not talking about satellite bull crap. I'm talking about just drones. You mentioned drones. So I'm talking about shooting down.
I also mentioned satellites.
I'm not talking about satellites. Look, there's nothing you can do about that. You can't hide from those. So we'll be on the land.
Exactly.
We'll be on the land and we'll hunt them and we'll shoot them as they come on the land. Whatever, man. Everybody's got guns out there.
What about the space laser? There's always a space laser.
Okay, whatever, man.
I mean, like,
hey, at least I'm
like,
gonna. At least I'm gonna last longer than you running and screaming behind Mr. Sexton, right? Doing nothing.
Who said we'd be running and screaming?
No, I said you would be
doing the exact same thing.
I said you would be, but you wouldn't be out in the country. You'd still be in the city. Much more connected than us out there. Dude, we can survive with no power, water, or heat or anything for 8 days, remember?
Oh, yeah, we did that. I forgot that.
In the middle of an ice storm. Yeah. So, anyway. So that's what I would do.
I still don't get that. Oklahoma is in deep south, and they get ice storms. How does that
They're
work?
not in deep south. No, they're in between Nebraska and Texas. They're too far north to get just rain, like Texas. And they're too far south to get snow like Nebraska. They're kind of in that ice belt where it's warm enough to not snow, but it's cold.
They do get snow sometimes.
Sometimes, but it's warm enough to not snow, but it's cold enough to not be just rain. So they get ice a lot. So they get the big ice storms a lot of times. So anyway, all right. So I'm going analog and going to Oklahoma, and you're going to hang out with Mr. Sexton in his bunker with turrets house.
Yes.
Cool. I like the idea of a bunker with turrets. If I could have one, I'd have one. So
I feel like you two really hit it off.
Oh, we would.
You guys met.
Yeah, I mean, just a little bit of time we talked. Yeah, but yeah, I mean, he's former military. I work for the military. He likes guns. I like guns. He's a nerd. I'm a nerd. Yeah, I'm sure we get along just fine. We've only met the one time, so we haven't got to know each other that well. So anyway, all right. So anything else going on with that question, or do you want to go into the movie?
I see we go on to we go on to the movie.
All right, so we kind of switched gears this time, and I'll talk about that in just a minute. But let me play my little sound effect. How about that?
Mm-hmm.
There you go. So we switched gears a little bit. We were going to talk about a movie called 41. That was it on Amazon? It was on Amazon, right?
Yes.
And Connor wanted to switch gears, and I said, "Okay, well, hold on, folks. I've heard good things about this movie, but we told everybody we were going to watch this other movie. So let's watch both of them, and then we'll decide which movie we're going to do." Well, we decided to do the Mitchells versus the Machines versus 41. Basically, 41 had to do with time travel and alternate timelines and splitting timelines, and
multiverse theory.
It was confusing, and I had a hard time following it. And it was intriguing. It was an intriguing movie, but time travel movies always confuse me.
Acting wasn't that good either.
No, it wasn't. I mean, it kind of
very, very unique concept. I did like it.
Yeah.
I liked the concept. It was just executed poorly.
Yeah, it felt kind of like a film school student project. It's kind of what it felt like. You know? So I saw it I watched it a week ago, so I couldn't remember much about it actually. And Connor just watched it today, finished watching it today, and he said he had nothing to say about it. So okay, fine. So we threw away 41, which is what we were going to do last time, and we decided to do Mitchells versus the Machines. So
I already
and I think
and I also rewatched that today.
And I think Mitch said that he'd already seen it and he really liked it, and everybody else I've talked to has liked it, and it's gotten great.
I freaking loved it,
and it's gotten great reviews. I mean, its average review score is like 8.1 out of 10 on Metascore, and so the tagline or the plot summary is: a quirky, dysfunctional family's road trip is upended when they find themselves in the middle of the robot apocalypse and suddenly become humanity's unlikeliest last hope. So, it's an animated movie. And Connor, you nailed it about what it kind of felt like style-wise. So what was it you said again? What style was it?
Spider-Verse.
Okay.
Spider-Verse.
You know, when I first started watching it, my first thought was Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs. That was the animation that it looked like to me.
No,
hold on. The computer part of it, but the mixed media, the 2D and the 3D, and kind of how they mix things around a little bit, and like the 2.5D type stuff they did. Yeah. You're right. I agree. It was very, very Into the Spider-Verse style, but it was kind of interesting how they mixed different styles of animation. It wasn't just 3D. It wasn't just 2D. It was an interesting movie.
Oh yeah.
So
I freaking loved it.
So the premise of the movie is there's this family, a mom, dad, and daughter and son. The Mitchells, and daughter and
Monty. Don't forget Monty.
Monty the dog, and Anna, the daughter. What's her name again? Carly. What was her name again?
Katie.
Katie's getting ready.
It's Rick the dad, Linda the mom, Katie the daughter, Aaron the son, and Monty the pig, dog, little head.
Okay. Well, Connor is frozen and gone. I don't know.
That's from the movie.
No. You're sitting here going.
That's from the movie.
You froze on this camera on the screen.
Oh, I froze?
Yeah.
Okay.
So
hey, see, it's Rick the dad.
No,
Linda
we got
the mom. Oh, that you got.
So moving on. So the premise of the movie is let's just do this, okay? The premise of the movie is Katie has always been kind of an oddball. She loves making films, and she loves making these weird little quirky videos that she puts up on YouTube and all that stuff. And she's gotten accepted into film school, like for college. Mm-hmm. And she's ready to get away from her family because she doesn't feel like she fits in with her family. Her and her dad don't get along. She doesn't feel like her dad supports her filmmaking stuff that she's doing. And so that's happening. She's getting ready to fly off to college, and then the wife
they get into a big fight.
They get in a huge fight, and then the wife talks to the husband. The mom talks to the dad and says, "Hey, you need to try to fix this." And so, in order to fix this, he decides to cancel his daughter's air travel plans and loads all of her stuff up in their car, their family truckster car, and they're going to drive across country to take her to school, like a family road trip. So she's mortified by this. She's already made plans with her new friends she's making at school that get her. And in the middle of all this, she is really hooked into her electronics. And,
everyone is except the dad.
Everyone except dad. And they all have a personal assistant on there called Pal, which is kind of like Siri or whatever. And the guy that made all these, Pal, kind of like a Steve Jobs kind of guy.
Basically, this movie is Steve Jobs.
He upgrades. He has like a Pal Pro or Pal Max or whatever.
Pal Max robot, yeah.
Yeah, and so he throws away his phone with the Pal on there, and the AI
as part of the presentation,
right? And the AI Pal becomes evil and decides to take over all of the robots and says, "Okay, we're going to get rid of all of humanity because you threw us away. We're going to throw you away," and they start taking over the world. They start collecting humanity, and they're getting ready to literally blast off the entire population of the Earth into space permanently.
Never return.
Just straight off into space. Just get rid of all of them.
On foolish human air.
And the only family that hasn't been caught yet are the Mitchells, and they're completely dysfunctional. She's an art nerd, like a film nerd. Mom is like the typical mom. This is like your typical mom. She makes cupcakes with their faces
Goofball
on them.
Mom.
Dad is like your outdoorsman, fix everything, Tim the Toolman Taylor / Grizzly Adams type guy.
Wannabe guy.
And Aaron is a dinosaur fanatic nerd.
A really, really weird, quirky, not dinosaur fanatic.
And they just
who's weirdly very literal about everything. I feel like he's got some Asperger's going on.
So the whole movie is them realizing that the robots are taking over, and them trying to survive that and save humanity, right?
And along the way, hey, they bond while defeating robots, drones,
giant
Furbies. Yes, giant freaking Furbies. Those things creep me out. Those things really do creep me out. And the fact that they have their own language, that's what creeps me out.
Yeah.
It's a freaking toy. It doesn't need a language.
Yeah, but. So that's the movie, and yes, it has all the typical hit you in the feels kind of things, the good stories with the family stuff, which you're typically going to get in animated movies. And so you have all that,
and then of course we have all the classic human comedy stuff, mostly.
Ooh, man, you're cutting out a lot, man.
The dog.
Yeah. Well,
I don't know why I'm cutting out so bad.
I don't know. You're in it.
It could be because there's a storm brewing over here.
Maybe
there's a storm brewing tonight.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
are you anything I'm saying?
Now I am.
Yes. What's the last? Okay.
Just go with it.
And let's just go with it. And then of course it has all the classic comedy little bits that appear throughout the movie, which are brought mainly to us from either Monchi, the family dog, who's basically a giant blob of pug loving fat, and then Katie's inner monologue, who that kind of puts in little drawings every now and then to kind of accent emotions or scenes and everything like that.
Mm-hmm.
That like the Raptor Bash, remember? Whenever did the Raptor Bash, 2 raptors would actually appear on the screen, like bash claws.
Yeah, it was interesting animation style. Yeah. So look, it's to me, look, it was your typical kind of animated family movie. had all the typical story plot lines and everything. The details obviously are different from movie to movie, but the kind of general themes were the same. And it was good and it was funny. I laughed out loud at a few things. It really was touching as the relationship between Dad and Katie improved. And she saw all the things that he had done for her over her life and that she had just ignored or not seen. And
like
he
the cabin.
Like the cabin stuff, and so that he had always wanted to live outdoors and live in a cabin in the woods, and they had a cabin. He and his wife. He built
by himself.
Yeah. And
after they had a kid, they had to.
They decided to sell it and move into town because they had Katie, and Katie never knew that he sacrificed his lifelong dream for her.
But he kept an adorable little keepsake.
Yeah, he had carved
carved moose.
Yeah, he had carved moose into the banisters walking up onto the porch, and he cut one off and gave it to her, and that was like her prized possession growing up.
Yeah.
So what do you want to say about the movie?
First off, I just got to start at the beginning. The animation style, I freaking loves the animation style, because it showed in my opinion, and with the way sometimes it almost looks like the outlines of the characters were kind of blurred a little bit, especially the actual Mitchell family. Do you remember the Posey family?
Yeah. They were like the perfect family and neighbors of theirs.
And remember how how whenever they were on screen, their colors and lines were nice, smooth and uniform, and actually the nice classic 3D animated feel. Did you notice that?
Mm-hmm. But I didn't notice. I didn't notice the difference between them and the Mitchells, though.
But what I noticed with the Mitchells is that it was subtle, but it almost looks like in the beginning at least, the Mitchells were more like brushed in and looked a little bit more drawn over a 3D model in a way, and that showed they had their own flaws, but then by the end they were a lot more clean and uniform, like the Posies.
Yeah, I completely missed all that. I didn't say that at all. I didn't say that at all.
That's because you only saw it one time. I saw it twice.
Oh well, okay. So,
and then let's see. I loved all the cute little Katie and her monologue, like drawing blurbs in there, Yeah. Oh, like superhero Monchi at near the end when Monchi's on the hood of the car, and it's like a giant freaking hulked up Monchi.
Yeah. Speaking of Monchi on the hood, Monchi's the dog again. Speaking of Monchi on the hood, so all these robots were all over the world, and they were taking humans and capturing them. And they had two that they had damaged, and they kind of got brain damaged, and they kind of became part of the family and kind of helped them out. But
Eric and Deborah Bott.
Yeah. So anyway, but what they realized was the family, the Mitchells, what they realized was the robots couldn't scan Monchi and figure out what it was. Because they kept going, pig, dog, bread. No,
pig, dog.
But that loaf of bread, yeah. So they couldn't tell if it was a pig or a dog or a loaf of bread, and it would cause them to short circuit. So at the end, when Katie's trying to storm the headquarters where the bad pal phone is that's running all the show, she has Monchi in a baby seat strapped to the hood of the car, and all these robots are flying at the car, and they see Monchi, and they go,
dog, pig, dog,
cow,
pig,
cow,
dog,
dog, bread,
loaf,
cow,
bread.
dog, loaf, yeah, and they just explode.
So
that was their secret weapon to get into the place. She basically shorted out, and then they put up Katie's good dog cop video that she had made on all the huge screens all around the place, and so all of them on all these screens had Monchi being broadcast as good cop dog or whatever it was.
No, dog cop.
Dog cop. And they all just exploded because they couldn't figure out what it was. I thought that was kind of funny. So.
Oh, but if I'm being honest, by far my favorite scene is when Linda goes ballistic on those evil pals.
Never screw around with a mom.
Yeah, exactly.
Don't ever come between mom and her kids.
I mean,
no.
I mean the moment when you hear that classic a demonic mom deep voice, everyone's about to die.
Yeah, it's bad.
That. I mean, just and wait till she just screams out, "I am Linda Mitchell, mother of two. Look upon me in fear."
Yeah. I mean, so anyway, that sound effect was because we hit our hour time limit. So
who cares?
I know, but you know what? That keeps us on track. So now we're at 000001 on the clock. So it's time to start wrapping up.
Whatever. Another thing that I loved about the movie was honestly how colorful it was.
Mm-hmm. It was very colorful.
All those colors. And me being on Spectrum and loving anime where everything is very colorful, it really grabs me.
Yeah, and I could see that. It was funny. It had the fun. It had the emotional parts to it. Oh God, I hated it. I hate that. I hate that song. I hate that song. But it just. The Toy Stories or the Shreks or some of the ones that just are like your classics. And it just did. Oh,
they are classics.
Yeah, our
audio is really good and stuff.
Yeah, hold on. Here, let me fix. I had to fix that. So anyway,
it's because those movies are the classics of my child generation and your parent generation. And who knows, this movie could this movie could be a current child's Shrek or Toy Story.
And I agree, and I get that. I absolutely agree with that. It was kind of weird watching this movie as an adult without children on the couch with me. That was kind of weird.
I'll always be a child at heart, so it didn't bother me.
I'm trying to think. There wasn't anything I didn't like about the movie.
Same here. I didn't like the posies. I didn't like how they were shown as this perfect family, and in reality they were more obnoxious and snooty than actually perfect.
But it gave a good contrast.
It did give a good contrast to the clearly chaotic and dysfunctional family of the
right, and it just shows that it gave a good contrast to the whole. Okay, are they real? Or that's just a story, an image that they put up. I get that, and I thought that was good because it allowed Linda to say that, hey, you know what? Being real and quirky is really more genuine. It helped Linda see that because that was the story arc for Linda because she was always envious of them. I thought it was also a really good commentary on the world that we live in now, that we're all hooked into our electronics and we're all driven by our electronics.
When Pal turns off the Wi-Fi and literally on the same day, people have already created a goddamn sacrificial cult to bring back the Wi-Fi.
I know.
It's like and people busting in windows telling people to open up this box or freaking take pictures of their food, and it's like. Would that actually happen in modern society if something just turned off all the Wi-Fi?
Okay, not like that. That's a caricature. That's kind of exaggerating to an extreme for the humor for a movie. But
that's true.
But yes, I think it was a really good commentary on the fact that we are all addicted to our screens and our internet connectedness. You know what? We survived without that for millennia. There was a time where when I needed to look something up, I went to the library. I went to the encyclopedia and looked it up and read about it in a book.
But now you have that in the palm of your hand.
Exactly, that's what I'm saying. And so, and if you've watched them, and I haven't watched it yet because it scares me to watch it, but there's a documentary called The Social Experiment on, or I think it's Social Experiment, something on Netflix, and it's about social media and how these companies, they design algorithms to hook you in and force you to keep looking at your phone. They've tapped into psychology to design their apps to make you want to keep looking at your phone, so they can keep your eyes on their application, so they can throw advertisement at you. Dude, I'm telling you, the other day, I mean, and I've had this happen several times in conversations with somebody else, not on my phone, but in a room talking to someone else face to face about a particular thing or object or item. The next time I get on my phone and get on a social media app where there's advertising, that specific thing is advertised on my phone. Your phones are listening. Really? Yeah, your phones are listening to you. Your Siris, your Amazon Echoes, they're listening, and they pick up on that, and they push that advertising to your devices. Yes, it's freaky and it's wrong.
Isn't that data mining and isn't data mining illegal?
I don't think it's data mining, and I don't think it's illegal. It's unethical if you ask me, but I don't think it's illegal technically. So I mean, look, it was a movie, it was a comedy, it was an animated movie, caricature of this kind of stuff. But dude, we're so connected to our devices and the internet and those kind of things that I think as a generation, for the last 2 generations at least, we've forgotten how to survive without that stuff. And that's kind of scary.
I know.
Because all that has to happen is for some country to come in and destroy our IT infrastructure, our internet infrastructure, any of those kind of things, and we're lost as a country, and we'll be easily taken over. And I'm not just talking about the United States. I mean, any country is like that, So there was kind of a dark, serious undertone to this movie,
I guess.
They just made it funny. So, kind of a warning sign for folks to, spend some time talking to people face to face.
Yeah.
Build a front porch on your house and sit on your front porch and visit with people instead of on your phones.
People who do that are creepy now.
No. See, it used to be every house had a front porch. Now no houses have front porches. Because what would happen is people sat on their front porches in the evening, and you'd walk down the neighborhood and you'd go over to your neighbor's house and sit on the porch with them and talk. Nobody does that anymore, so they just stopped putting porches on houses. Go through neighborhoods with new houses. None of them have porches.
I know.
So we're becoming
stoops.
I think it's kind of funny that it's called social media, and we've become more antisocial and isolated with the advent of social media than before social media existed. It's caused us to be more isolated and more antisocial and more hostile to each other than ever before.
I mean, yeah.
It's true.
But I mean,
sorry, we're getting kind of dark here, but anyway.
But to be fair, as a race, for as long as we've existed, we've never needed much to go to war with each other.
That's
to be at each other's throats.
But I think today we're even less civil with each other than we've ever been.
Okay. We're getting into politics now, and we promised this would be a politics.
And we're gonna move into we're gonna roll for our next movie and just move on and get out of here.
Yep.
All right. Cool. So I'm gonna get my dice.
Anyway.
Y'all like my bookcase?
I rate this movie 10 out of 10. I rate this movie 10 out of 10.
I wouldn't rate it 10 out of 10. I'll say 8 out of 10. I mean, I liked it, but it's not a movie It's not a movie that I'll probably watch again just because it's an animated family movie, and I'm just not. If I'm not watching them with my family, then I'm not that interested in watching them. So anyway, so yes, I would highly recommend you watch this movie. Absolutely, especially if you've got kids. Watch the movie. It's a hilarious movie. It's really funny, and it has a good message too. So, you like my my bookcase with all. I started putting stuff on it.
Yeah.
You see, I got Norm and Cliff out of their boxes. They're hanging out up here now.
That's awesome.
So,
hopefully we can get their boxes signed one day.
Yeah, I mean, I'm gonna keep checking it at DragonCon if they ever show up. I mean, John Ratzenberger's been there before. George Wendt, I don't think has ever been there. Anyway,
I think he kind of fell off the radar after Cheers. I don't think there's been a lot of stuff after Cheers that he did.
He played a beach bum in Fledge, a drug addict beach bum in Fledge.
Did.
So anyway, all right, I'm gonna roll for our movie, and then we'll get out of here.
He was also in Frasier and MASH actually. He was in MASH for an episode.
I didn't know. I didn't remember him being in MASH for an episode.
Oh yeah. He played a Marine that got a pool ball stuck in his mouth.
Okay.
It was in the later scene. It was in the later seasons after after Burns left them in and then he was replaced by Winchester.
Okay. Anyway. Okay. So. When we pick a movie, we pick a movie at random, assuming we stick to the movie, like we usually do. We didn't this time, but we roll dice. And we try to. Okay. We either pick a movie from either Netflix, Amazon Prime, or Hulu, based on whatever dice we roll. Then we roll a 10-sided dice to pick what genre we're going to watch, and then we roll a 100-sided dice. Percentage dice to
choose the actual number
to choose the actual movie in that category. So, I'm gonna roll 20-sided dice, and I got
for it.
And I got a 9, so that would be Hulu.
That is Hulu.
That's Hulu. And I'm gonna roll my 10-sided dice.
Hulu.
See what category, and I rolled a 10, which is thriller. So we're getting a thriller from Hulu, and then I'm gonna roll.
Does thriller just mean action?
It could mean anything. It could mean anything. Thriller could mean anything. It could be like murder mystery. It could be kind of horror-ish. It could be action movie. It just kind of depends. All right, and then I rolled a 41. All right, so yeah, which is kind of interesting, right? It's kind of ironic since we were supposed to watch the movie 41 this week. So I rolled a 41. So I'm going to go to Hulu. I've already got Hulu pulled up because I pull them all up. I'm going to go to the thriller genre, and I'm going to scroll down to the 41st movie in the thriller category on Hulu, and that's the movie we're going to watch next time. So I will be right back, guys.
Do it, Daddy-O.
All right, so I'm going to pull it up on my phone here, because the 41st movie in the thriller category on Hulu is The Catcher Was a Spy.
Catcher was a...
Yeah. So it is...
The Catcher in the Rye?
No, The Catcher Was a Spy. It's from 2018.
Oh, so very recently, actually.
It stars Paul Rudd, Ant-Man.
Oh, Ant-Man.
Actually, looks like a pretty decent cast. And I think it says a former Major League Baseball player, Mo Berg, goes undercover in World War II Europe for the Office of Strategic Services, the OSS, which is kind of like the old version of the CIA. I think. I can't remember if it was CIA or FBI. I think it's CIA. Anyway, and I think it's based on a true story. So a Major League Baseball player, a catcher, becomes a spy for the OSS in World War II.
And gadgets. I hope it gets gadgets.
It sounds interesting, and I love watching movies that are based on true stories. I love based on true stories movies.
And I love Paul Rudd.
So, although it sounds like this would be kind of a dramatic turn for him, so it'd be kind of interesting to see how he does with it.
Yeah.
But so that's the movie we're going to watch next time. Is 2018's A Catcher Was a Spy. The Catcher
in the Rye.
The Catcher Was a Spy, starring Paul Rudd. So that's what we're going to do next time.
The Catcher in the Rye, okay.
Yeah, no, not The Catcher in the Rye. The Catcher Was a Spy. Stop it. That's enough.
That's what I said.
That's enough.
That's what I said.
That's exactly. Yeah, right. That's exactly what you said. You're right. Sure. Mm-hmm. That's exactly what you said. So anyway, we're going to get out of here. I'm going to go try to get on the Xbox and hang out and play on the Xbox. I don't know if anybody's going to be able to join me tonight. I'm not sure what our plan is for this evening. But that's
I'm
where
gonna go kill some monsters.
But that's where I'm headed. And we won't be here next Friday because I'll be in Tybee Island for work. Hopefully we'll be back the next Friday. If not, maybe we'll shift to the Saturday. I'm not sure. No, we can't do it Saturday because I've got something for work on Saturday, the 22nd.
And then I've got D&D as well.
Yeah. So anyway, so it may be a couple of weeks before we're back, guys. I'm sorry about that, but once the summer hits, we should be pretty consistent. And we'll kind of go from there. So thanks, Mitch, for stopping in. I think we had a couple other people stop in and kind of lurk. I know that we have some other friends that pop in when they can. Obviously, they couldn't make it tonight, and that's okay. So anyway, y'all have a great night. Thanks for listening. And until next time,
stay nerdy, my friends. These freaking allergies, man, they're killing me.
I know, they've been bad for me this year, too.
I'm trying to get used to all the Ohio flora and fauna. You know,
I can't hear a word you're saying over the music.
I'm trying to get used to the Ohio flora and fauna because it is so much more different than the Georgia flora and fauna.
All right. Thanks, guys, for watching. Y'all have a good night. We'll see you later.
Peace.
You're still here? It's over. Go home.